fraud is what? Fraud is theft by deception. Was this money stolen, and were you lied to separate you from the money? So I don't think it changes from the frauds I was working in 1999 versus the frauds we're working today. Just the underlying lies are more complicated and sophisticated.
So you're a massive fan of crypto.
I hate crypto. I think the whole thing's garbage. There's no good cryptocurrency.
Why do you think that?
2 reasons. One, it's not a currency. And it never will be a currency. Even Bitcoin, the best one, or Ethereum, no one's using that as a currency. So all these libertarian arguments about how we're going to get rid of the Federal Reserve and blah, 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 printing money, all fall on deaf ears because they're all full of shit, because it's not a currency. It never will be a currency. You can't buy anything with Bitcoin, right? You turn it into real money to buy something with it, right? So let's set that nonsense aside, which is every crypto bros argument. Then what we're really talking about here is an unregistered security, right? It's an unregistered security that people are buying, speculative unregistered security that they're buying at a profit. The difference between this security and your stock or your bond or anything else is that it's not tethered to anything in reality, right? There's no such thing as cryptocurrency as a security. It has nothing to do with, everyone's like, oh, you're investing in the blockchain. You're not investing in the blockchain. This is a product of the blockchain. I have no problem with the blockchain as a data processing device. I have a problem with these fake securities that they're creating that aren't tied to anything in reality. It's not, a stock represents a proportional ownership of a company. A bond represents a debt. We could talk about warrants and options and everything, but they're tethered to something in reality. Cryptocurrency is not. When you own cryptocurrency, you own nothing. You own nothing. And so the idea that somehow this is going to make you rich, and the reason people are making money in cryptocurrency is because it has all the benefits of a pump and dump scheme and a Ponzi scheme, where the only thing propping this thing up is new investors coming in to pump money into it, and that house of cards is going to fall. Problem is, it's not going to fall for a long, long time because the SEC just allowed them to do exchange-traded funds of cryptocurrency. And we can get into what that is if you want, but it's going to pump a lot of liquidity into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and keep it propped up longer than it would otherwise. But the end is coming.
Does that worry you?
It worries me because I was just so disappointed that the Securities and Exchange Commission approved the idea of them selling stocks where there's nothing in that stock except for holdings in Bitcoin and other garbage cryptocurrency. I don't know what pressure they were getting politically, what lobbying took place to make that happen. But yeah, it just disappoints me because it was such a stupid move for the Securities and Exchange Commission to do that. And a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money.
And that's what, I guess that's why I'm saying, does it worry? Do you think that there's going to be a massive shock too? Because so many people in my generation are like, I'm putting all my money in crypto. And I'm like, that's not smart. Good.
Well, you're going to end up eating wet newspaper because you didn't listen to me. I'll be Chicken Little saying that the sky is falling.
Yeah. So, okay. How is the FBI, and obviously you were kind of leaving right at the tail end of this, but how does the FBI operating with all this too? People, again, we go back to these crazy conspiracy theorists that'll be they want to take down crypto because it's freedom. But what you're highlighting here, it's the schemes of all schemes. We saw this with FTX. We saw Sam Bankman Fried. It's the schemes of all schemes. So what is currently going on in these agencies to kind of...
Well, we're getting a lot of agents. We're getting a lot of smart young people instead of old washed up people like me in the door who understand cryptocurrency, understand the blockchain, understand how that all works, and have the ability to kind of do the analysis needed to kind of follow the money, because that's the whole ball game, right? But at the end of the day, what we're really talking about is the only frauds are when people are being lied to. If you're being lied to separate you from your money, and you tell me you're going to be investing my money in crypto, and then you do something other with it, then that's a crime. If you're telling me that you're going to be investing my money in Dogecoin and I invest in it and I lose a bunch of money, that's not a crime. The FBI is not the bad investment police. It's the fraud police.
What's your view then on FTX and what happened with SBF and all that? And
yeah, I mean, it was a amazingly sophisticated crime, but I don't have all the details on it. I'm not super up on the case, but I'm proud to see that the case was largely made and the bad guys will be going to prison, which gives me faith that the FBI knows what they're doing in this area, and they have people way smarter than me working these cases.
And see, but that's a debate that people make.
What don't you like about it? Are you unhappy with the way that turned out?
No. It's nothing with that. It's just there's conversations around how are they actually going to bring this day in court? What's the punishment going to look like? Because it's a new market. There's debate around, because what you're highlighting here is like crypto isn't a promised asset. And it's like, does it fall under what normal, clearances that are there for securities? What's the rules?
Right. And again, charging securities fraud laws are all very technical, right? But again, most of these cases are just being charged under the wire fraud or mail fraud statute, mostly wire fraud these days. And so all you really need to do is show that somebody lost money. Fraud is what? Fraud is theft by deception. Was this money stolen, and were you lied to separate you from their money? So I don't think it changes from the frauds I was working in 1999 versus the frauds we're working today. Just the underlying lies are more complicated and sophisticated.
Does it worry? Do you think the FBI is worried about the fact that, since these are, I guess this has kind of always been a thing, but like there's a tangible possibility that you could have other countries operating within these?
Without question, yeah. Crime has become very multinational now, and Bitcoin is making that way more difficult, because in the old days when it was following a wire transfer from a U.S. bank to a Russian, Chinese, or Nigerian bank, that was something you could put your teeth into, you could follow. Once this thing goes into someone's Bitcoin wallet, your visibility into it's very clouded, and I'm seeing that in the cases that I'm working on.